Hello, everybody. My name is Roy Nemmer of Mundo Albiceleste.com, and welcome to another video. And this time around, we have some massive news. The preliminary list for the Copa America has been released by the world champions, by Argentina. We have 29 players that have been picked in that list, and 26 players will be going to the Copa America. So this is not the definitive list. This is not the final list for the Copa America. And some changes could still happen. Some players maybe that are not even included in this provisional list might end up making the Copa America. But we have some big names missing, some big names obviously included. And this also gives us an idea as to Lionel Scaloni's thinking and his train of thought going into the Copa America for the players. So we're going to discuss all of that. I want everybody's opinions, obviously, in the comments down below. And let's get to it. Let's get to the preliminary list of 29 players. And beginning with the goalkeepers, we have Franco Armani, Geronimo Rulli, Emiliano Martinez. Then we have the defenders, Gonzalo Montiel, Nahuel Molina, Leonardo Balerdi, Christian Romero, Germán Pasella, Lucas Martinez Cuarta, Nicolas Otamendi, Lisandro Martinez, Marcos Acuna, Nicolas Tagliafico, and Valentin Barco. Getting to the midfielders, we have Guido Rodriguez, Leandro Paredes, Alexis McAllister, Rodrigo De Paul, Ezequiel Palacios, Enzo Fernandez, and Giovanni Lo Celso. And then up front, we have Angel Di Maria, Valentin Carboni, Lionel Messi, Angel Correa, Alejandro Garnacho, Nicolas Gonzalez, Lautaro Martinez, and Julian Alvarez. Now, out of those 29 players, at least 3 of them will be cut to cut it down to 26, maybe more if other players from outside of this list are included in the final squad for the Copa America. And there are some big names missing. Obviously, the big one is Paulo Dybala, and we're going to talk about him in just a moment. We're also missing the likes of Marcos Senesi is another one, Walter Benitez. And you know what? Let's start with the goalkeepers. Let's start with Benitez. A champion with PSV Eindhoven does not get selected. Instead, Geronimo Rulli of Ajax gets picked in the provisional squad. Rulli has only played a total of 7 league games with Ajax this season. So this is kind of surprising, in my opinion, that maybe he got picked ahead of Benitez. Although Rulli has been with the team for a little bit longer than Benitez. Benitez got his first ever cap with Argentina back in April of this year. Or back in March rather of this year. So, picking Rulli for me in place of Benitez, it is surprising, especially when you consider the current form. Benitez, a champion in the Netherlands, and Rulli, someone that only played 7 league games, got injured at the start of the season, then lost his spot in the team. I am surprised by this. Let me know down below what you think. And, would you have picked Rulli instead of Benitez? Would you have picked somebody else? We spoke about this in the past, in previous videos. Obviously, we know Emiliano Martinez will be the number 1. Franco Armani is set to be the number 2. And then it was between Benitez and Rulli as the number 3. This is not the final list. This could still change. But the way things are looking, those are the 3 goalkeepers that are going to be going to the Copa America. Now, if we get to the defenders, I mentioned Marcos Senesi earlier. He's a surprising one for me. He was initially picked at the start of the year for the 2 friendly matches versus El Salvador and Costa Rica. He got injured. He missed out. And I don't know if that injury played a factor into him not being selected for this. I don't know. However, someone that is selected, I'm a fan of, Leo Balerdi of Marseille. He does get picked. He recently finished playing 100 league matches with Marseille. So congratulations to him. I am someone that somehow, some way, maybe I would have picked both of them. I would have picked Balerdi and I would have picked Marcos Senesi as well. But Balerdi is in the preliminary squad for the Copa America. Senesi is not. Again, this is not the final list, but this really gives us an idea as to how Scaloni's thinking. And I would be surprised if we get players outside of these 29 that are picked for the final 26. That's just me. I don't know. The other surprising one is Valentin Barco, someone that we've spoken about in the past in previous videos. With Brighton, he started their last match versus Manchester United in the league. I thought he did a formidable job as a left back. He's still very young, still very raw. Could he be one of the three that does get cut going into the Copa America? Who knows? We don't know. Let me know down below. Would you pick Barco for that final list or not? Another kind of surprising one is Lucas Martinez Cuarta. Although in one of the World Cup qualifying matches versus Peru, he came on as a substitute and played as a right back. So maybe that's something that Scaloni is thinking of. Maybe he's thinking of a plan B and a plan C. You have Molina. What if Molina is not ready? You have Montiel. If Montiel is not ready, as a real backup, you have Lucas Martinez Cuarta that could play as a right back. So some surprising names so far in a way, at least defensively. I was not expecting Balerdi, although I'm happy to see Balerdi, but no Marcos Senesi, which is surprising for me. Now, if we get to midfield, no real surprises in midfield, so to speak. There's been some talk about Guido Rodriguez, but, he's in the team, unsurprisingly, in my opinion. And, he's really the only pure defensive midfielder that Argentina have. So if they do need just a pure defensive mid, he's the player. Other than that, it's names that we've become accustomed to seeing. McAllister, Paredes, De Paul, obviously. Lo Celso, even though he's not getting many minutes or many games even with Tottenham, he does get selected. And I'm all for Lo Celso. I think he always does very well when he plays with Argentina when given the chance. So very happy for him. Now we get to the forwards, and this is where we get a couple of more surprises. The likes of Angel Correa, who I'm a big fan of, by the way, and I'm a big advocate, have been for several years, essentially since the start of this channel. I'm a fan of Angel Correa. I'm surprised to see him in this because he hasn't been selected for Argentina in a while. So for him to be on the team, it's surprising for me, but he is versatile. And he had a decent season with Atletico Madrid in the couple of games that he's gotten, the minutes that he's gotten, most of them as a substitute. So he's someone that's versatile. He has the experience. He was part of both teams, the Copa America and the World Cup. So happy for him to be there. In all likelihood, does he ultimately get to the final 26? Maybe not, in my opinion. Maybe not. But we shall see. The rest of the forwards are pretty much as you'd expect, but for one name, Valentin Carboni. Surprising, in my opinion. He came on as a substitute in Argentina's last game. Thought he had a decent showing there. He's definitely one for the future. I think he's one that could get cut and not make the final 26, although we could be in for some surprises. We never know. There always seems to be something when it comes to a final list of players for Argentina, whether it's the Copa America or the World Cup. Can Carboni be that surprise inclusion in the team? It's definitely a possibility. I might not hold my breath about that one. I think, again, he's one for the future, but we never know. Scaloni is full of surprises, and I mentioned this before. Trust in Scaloni. Now, those are the players that have been selected. The ones that haven't been selected, I spoke about Senesi, I spoke about Walter Benitez. Let's talk about Paulo Dybala. I said in our last live discussion, I said this could potentially be Dybala's last tournament for Argentina. I don't see him included in 2026 for the World Cup. And by the looks of it, there's a chance that he might not even make this Copa America. For whatever reason, I don't know why he's not selected. He's not injured. He is not injured. He was substituted out for Roma in their last match, but De Rossi had mentioned that it was more of a tactical reason. He's not injured. So it's not because of that. It's not because of fitness. I don't know what it is. Is it something where, Dybala gets selected for the Copa America, and because this list of players here, this will also be for the two games at the start of June, two friendly matches before the Copa America, And this is the list for those 2 games as well, and also serves as the preliminary or provisional list for the Copa America. So is it something where Dybala does not get picked for those 2 games, but ultimately comes back and gets picked for the Copa America? It is a possibility. I don't know if Scaloni sees it that way. Maybe Scaloni wants to have 29 players, see them train, and make the 3 cuts from there. We don't know. Again, it's not the final list, and Dybala could still end up being included. Same goes for Senesi, same goes for Benitez and every other player. But the fact that Dybala is not picked, even for these 2 friendly matches, even just for that, just to have him train with the team if he doesn't want him to play, that's surprising for me, to be very honest. It's very, very surprising. I don't know what's going to happen with Dybala. Could he get selected? Let me know down below. Are you surprised by Dybala's exclusion? Would you have picked him? If yes, in place of whom? And do you think that Dybala will ultimately still get selected for the Copa America later next month? Let me know down below in the comments. If you like what you saw, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, hit that notifications button to be the first person notified as soon as a new video drops. We have a lot of content coming up for the Copa America prior, during, afterwards. You don't want to miss a single video. Trust me about that. Once more, my name is Roy Nemmer of Mundo Albiceleste.com, and thank you for watching.